So is this a dream? Is this some time has passed? Jules left, didn't she?
Look, Ollie, I know you don't believe me, but I'm doing really good, actually.
You just said you found an amazing balance.
It's interesting.
Believe me or not.
Interesting dialogue, isn't it?
I'm good.
Yeah, you said that.
That's the illusion, isn't it, man? Well, this person is successful, you know. Look, that is, and look at all the drugs they took, you know. Look at all the drinking they did. But it's an illusion, I think, right? There's a price to pay, one way or another.
To the stage or something.
Sobriety is your greatest weapon. It is, man. Like I was out of it for so long. I didn't even realise, you know, what it was stealing from me. I suppose because, you know, I started drinking when I was like 11, you know, regularly when I was 15, and by the time I was 18, it was daily. And it was daily pretty much up until I was 30. I wish I was better at articulating than I am already, you know. But I think I am getting better through the practice, you know, of talking to you guys. It is like a muscle that you can train, I suppose, like anything else. Whereas if I was still, you know, drinking or smoking, I would be like Rue here, you know. Like, I mean, I lose my train of thought anyway sometimes, but it would just be all over the place, you know. Being passionate about something and then going off on some tangent, not really getting to a fucking point. Johnny Marr said it great when he said he stopped drinking because he just got sick of sitting around and talking about things and never actually doing them, you know.
When I'm present, like a part of this.
When you're present.
About relapsing, it's darker than that.
I think there's a lot to be said for it, you know, like I heard Jordan Peterson say ages ago, in extreme circumstances, you know, in the short term, medication pharmaceutically or, you know, self-medicating in the short term, perhaps that is necessary in times of like extreme trauma or despair or whatever, you know, for that person, but it's not a long-term strategy at all, is it?
A lie.
It's a lie whether you know it or not, but more importantly, I don't give a fuck to hear it. You don't have the tools. You're too busy running around trying to bullshit everybody, just thinking you're hard. You don't give a fuck when the reality
Don't have the tools.
Fuck. You're not a drug addict because you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit because you're a drug addict. You follow?
Yeah, man, it's true.
What I'm saying is, fuck about herself or anybody else. Why does this girl deserve?
So this is interesting territory, man. I'm not sure what I think about the addiction thing being a disease or not, you know. I've read Gabor Mate like speaks about well, he's got a book first off called In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts about, you know, addicts and stuff that he, you know, spoke with, I guess, in his practice. And well, that's a title and a half, isn't it, for a book, In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts. But he says that you should not ask, you know, why the addiction, you should ask why the pain. Maybe I'm not, you know, smart enough to understand it. But this is, I mean, we're only 12 minutes in, man. This is
cruel.
This is great, isn't it?
Destructive kid.
Got to find new ways to live. That's what you got to do, isn't it?
You pancakes on.
You have daughters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Act consciously in every moment.
How long did you relapse for?
There's a great line in Peaky Blinders. So Arthur's drinking whiskey, I think, and somebody said, Arthur, I thought you weren't drinking anymore. And he says, I'm just having a few now and then to remind myself why I don't drink.
What am I, your first black friend? What you think? I was actually from the Middle East. I'm from South Philly.
Yeah, but you just don't look like a Martin. Why does your life have a purpose and my dad's doesn't?
It's an interesting logic, isn't it? I mean, that makes sense. How do we deal with, like, you know, extreme tragedy? How do you square the circle of that? I think I was growing up. I think maybe I believed in God because that's kind of, you know, what you were told to do. Maybe, you know. Then I think I became extremely, really atheistic. You know, didn't really believe there was anything else. And now I think we're all arguing over semantics, maybe, you know, and the idea that God is, you know, some bloke in the sky or whatever. I think that's to me, like, do I believe in God? It's a loaded word, isn't it? It's a loaded word. I believe in love, I suppose, you know, as much as that feels like a cliche as well, doesn't it? But it's in everything, isn't it? You know, there is something in everything. But how do we square the tragedies in our lives? I think the only kind of way I can do it, or the tragedies in the world or whatever, the only way I can do it is that we're all God. and we've forgotten, and we come here to learn and to grow and to evolve. That's the best I've got, I suppose, at the minute.
The first legislative steps granting you and I the right to sit in this motherfucking diner to have a conversation.
It's a fucking big deal, isn't it? Eh?
Imagine a world in which they were free.
Yeah, Jesus.
One person's revolutions are no longer radical.
What are you talking about?
There's so many revolutions.
But this is, isn't it wonderful, man? The limitations sometimes, because I'm guessing this is going to be the whole episode now, right? Just these two. But it's the limitations of 2020 that without that, would this have been written? You know, would this have been done as an episode? It's fantastic, isn't it, man? And the script, everything is about writing, isn't it? Whether it's songs or film, it all starts with writing. Without the good writing, there's nothing.
Our people matter. And I thought, man, this feels good. Quick one, not a fashionable one, but a real fucking revolution. Spiritual.
Yeah, man, it is.
Complete reconstruction in the spirit of
Of an ideal.
you have to create a new God.
Like, not like ideologically, but that's the meaning of life, right? Surely, is to grow and to learn. And there can be no revolution without a revolution of self, you know. So before we change the world, we must change ourselves, right? And that's a real difficult one to do, isn't it? Because quite often what we view as ourself is the bit you've got to get rid of, you know, and it don't want to die often. This is a great episode, man. Great script.
Reconstruction in the spirit of
Not that I agree with everything, I don't think, but you know, I don't even understand all of it.
new God or gods. It is imperative that you believe in something greater than yourself. And it can't be the ocean.
The future version of you. That's a good one, isn't it?
People or the words. You've got to believe in the poetry because everything else in your life will fail you, including yourself. Because who knows?
Man, I bet this episode helped a lot of people as well, right? I remember like Matthew McConaughey, I think it was in his Oscar speech, was it maybe, you know, about his hero being him in 10 years, you know. And that's what you should always try and... I have mixed feelings about this, you know, about being here now and planning for the future, you know, because you've got to find the balance between both, I guess. But if you're not embarrassed by yourself this time last year a little bit at least, you know, maybe you ain't growing quick enough. He's a great actor, isn't he, man? Did so much with so little. I think that was the 12-step program initially, was that formulated as a non-secular recovery, because it doesn't have to be, does it? When it doesn't have to, like, something higher than yourself, you know, it doesn't have to be God. Although I find the idea of grace fascinating. I find a lot of the religious ideas fascinating, I suppose, because they don't need to, they work independently of any sort of religious doctrine or framework, right?
What would happen if you thought about dating?
You want to know if I was interested in dating or if I was interested in getting clean? Because the answer is yes. But I had to not be in a relationship so that I could focus on my sobriety.
Jeez, that was a great performance by that woman as well, wasn't it?
That was clean.
Well, yeah.
Stay clean.
Easy to blame other people, isn't it, man? Got to take responsibility also.
How would we talk about it?
That's how people get into relationships, really. They talk about it.
Man, like not having the tools to explain, like, to each other how we feel.
For someone to leave you.
It's like you're dependent on the people, I suppose, right?
And it's just sort of like,
Change who you are as a person.
There's a great line in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas where he says, you can turn your back on a person, but you can never turn your back on a drug.
In every compromise you make,
Jeez, that's a good point, yeah.
Cross, you'll go further and further until you don't recognize who the fuck you are.
Further and further into hell, man.
That list of unforgivable things, it grows longer and gets uglier.
everybody seems to be okay with it, you know?
Yeah, everyone seems, don't they?
The anger.
We exist in echo chambers, don't we, man? I suppose you've got to find new and better echo chambers to exist in.